Hello, everyone. Welcome to this month's installment of Temple of Wholeness's offering, which is Code, the Church of Direct Experience. We are really delighted to be serving this field and enjoying the continual organic growth of it. Thank you, everyone who's here with us today, live in person. Hello also to everyone who will be enjoying this from the recording, and also to Unify, all who are streaming in through the live stream with Unify. We're happy to be expanding this field and partnering with them to reach more and more beings who want to gather, to cultivate shared awareness, to be able to build that field and really root into our direct experience of connection with Source together. So today we have myself offering the attunement to just bring us in and center us and open our receptors to receive what Lindsay Briner will be bringing today. And she's bringing a very potent offering, which I'll give her a moment to share that in a minute here. And then after Lindsay completes, I have the pleasure of receiving Amelie for a prayer and song woven together as her musical meditation. So with that, before I begin entering into the attunement space, Lindsay, I'd love to have you share quick context for what you'll be bringing forth today.
Sure. Hi, everyone. Good to be here. Thank you, Amber, Mary Catherine, and Matt. So I am a longtime student of Dzogchen, a lineage of Dzogchen, Bon, and Mahamudra meditation. And I bring that into my work as a neuropsychologist and performance coach. And so this is will be a little bit of my own style on some of the stages of realization. In Mahamudra, we'll be doing an emptiness technique, which comes from Dzogchen, followed by a diamond heart technique that comes from Mahamudra. And the idea of these practices, the point of these types of practices is to learn a pathway in the brain, to develop a neural pathway from the sense of self as an identity construct, which is all the narratives and self-referential thinking, all these limiting beliefs and stories that get in our way, that monkey mind that doesn't stop, right? To shift out of that into pure awareness, the field of awareness, or what I call awareness mode. And so it's the locus of identity shifts from the sense of self as an identity construct to the sense of self as pure awareness. And it's literally just a pathway in the brain to access a different network. It's the difference between temporal processing and the prefrontal lobe to temporal processing that's more unified. And then from the more from a different perspective, the point of these practices is to also access a level of compassion that comes from more of the absolute nature of reality. When we function from the sense of self as an identity construct, our level of compassion and motivation to be in service comes from the relative nature of reality, which is limited by the obscurations of all these stories that we get caught up in, right? And so when we're able to operate out of this other network, with the sense of self as pure awareness, we're functioning from more of the absolute nature of reality that's more limitless, boundless, and whole, and therefore our ability to access a level of universal compassion is more like the rays of the sun, right? That includes everyone and everything without these obscurations of mind, and to be motivated from that place to do and achieve and serve. So if you want more information about where these teachings come from, there's a book, a root text that I recommend. Matt's going to share it in the thread on pointing out the Dharmakaya. It's on the emptiness practice. And then my teacher is Dan Brown, who sadly died recently, and his senior student, Dustin DePerna, is now taking over. And so if you're interested in learning more, you can also reach out to me or those guys too.
Thank you, Lindsay. Looking forward to experiencing that. And so to bring us in together today, I'm going to ask us all to stand up for just a couple of minutes now that you're all nice and cozy and seated. And we're going to, in this standing, this beginning of this attunement, the intention for this is to really allow for a discharge in the nervous system, any excess tension or energy that we're carrying. So we're going to, let's see, it's a little higher here. Can you still hear me from back here? Okay, great. So just coming to stand, and first just either allowing your eyes to close or just having your gaze gently focus downward. And begin just by scanning the body from head to toe, just taking stock with where you're at this starting point. Allowing the breath to begin to deepen and lengthen. And then ever so gently, just allow for the heels to begin to lift, to allow for a gentle bounce. And with this gentle bounce, the intention is to allow for all of your joints to become fluid. So making sure that your jaw is relaxed, your shoulders, the wrists, the pelvis, the knees, the ankles. And notice when the heels hit the ground, there's this thumping sensation that rises up through the bones of the body. So intending to allow for any tension held deep into the bones and the bone marrow to just start loosening. As the breath is deep and full, gently, gradually allow it to become a little more vigorous, more energy engaged here. If it feels good, you can allow for a little sound on your exhale, feeling the vibration of the sound in your body, loosening even more. And now we're going to transition to about 30 seconds of vigorous shaking, allowing the feet to leave the floor. The more that you give into this, the more that you get out of it. So now letting everything go. And you can slough the energy downward towards the earth. Now coming to stand in stillness. Or if you'd like to make your way back down to seated. And just be present for the cascade of sensation flowing through the body, feeling that pulsation, the aliveness of the channels dilating to allow more life force to flow through this vessel. Beginning to connect with this life current flowing down from above, flowing, pouring into the crown of the head. And just follow that current down through the body as it cleanses, warming, melting, whatever it is that has been carried forward into this moment that may be obstructing life force from nourishing every cell of this body. And as you follow the current down, allow the cells to drink in and receive this warm, solar, diamond light, purifying, soothing, and restoring to balance. Emptying out of whatever it is that no longer serves. and offering it all down into the earth with gratitude to the Mother, who receives and composts whatever it is that we are complete with. And now just allowing your awareness to simply be with this gross level of sensation, the obvious sensations that were stimulated by the movement and the breath. And now inviting awareness to move deeper inward to finer sensing. And moving a layer deeper inward, even more fine grain. Sensing the community of cells that are bound together into the form of this body, operating as an entire ecosystem. And as you move in closer, noticing the particles that are organized into the form of a cell. And moving in even deeper, smaller than an atom. Notice from this perspective the vast spaciousness that is here. Enjoying the hum, the buzz, the movement of the dancing particles all around the space. And directing the gaze of your attention into the center, the center, the center of the heart. This doorway to the infinite. And allowing your awareness to rest into this infinite expanse here. Observing the symphony of the movement of particles, dancing in concert. And from here, listen to the inner sound, the one that rode you outward into this life, into this manifestation of yourself. Savor the sound. Softly continuing, resonating through all the nerves of your body, permeating, expanding everywhere. And know this as the ongoing sound of creation. So from this seat in the center of the heart, connecting heaven and earth within this body, allowing for the receptors to open to deeply receive what is to be transmitted today by our sister Lindsay. And Lindsay, I hand the baton to you to take us deeper and wider.
Thank you, Amber. Okay, everyone, I'm just going to continue with the practice, right where Amber left off, as a guided meditation, just continuing with that high resolution of being with the breath and the heartbeat. We're going to start with just refining our level of focus and concentration before we jump into the techniques, because we have a lot of work to do with the techniques, but in order for them to work, it takes a high level of focus and concentration. So really redirecting the mind and continuing to direct the mind, steering it like a wheel closer and closer to that high resolution of the detail of just being with the breath. The inhale, the exhale, and the whole felt sense of the body at the pause at the end of the exhale. And really being zoomed in and intimately engaged in all of those details that would otherwise go unnoticed, of being with that synchronized movement between the breath and the heartbeat. On those 3 points, the inhale, the exhale, and the whole felt sense of the body at the pause at the end of the exhale. And staying with that level of resolution and staying with the heartbeat and the breath, I'm going to invite you to set up being in awareness mode as best as you can, like a master who knows how to do it, versus the sense of self. Being in awareness, you can think of awareness like the supercomputer of the universe that moves much faster than the speed of thought. It moves at the lightning speed of intention. And so we're going to shift the object of meditation to the sense of self, but viewing it through awareness mode. And it'll start to make more sense as we go. So evoking the sense of self and all of the identity constructs, just what's up for you right now in this moment, who you are, what you're working on, the day today, the day yesterday, maybe some emotional upheavals or stresses about what you're trying to achieve, relationships, whatever it is, just allowing it all to just be there, to just bubble it up to the surface gently. And you're going to notice that each of these constructs have a weight to them, a grab. The Tibetans call it zimba, grab. I like to think about it as like a gravitational pull that pulls you into like a wormhole of stories about the thing. And so just identify which one of those has the most weight to it, the most zimba. And then use your awareness mode to go right into it. Awareness mode functions like, as Amber took us, like a microscope. You can just zoom right into it and wherever it leads you, but it's not going to make any sense because awareness moves much faster than the speed of thought. And you're going to search for anything solid at the center of this thing that has the most weight to it. And just Go right into it where you're holding it in your mind or your body, where you feel that contraction, maybe a memory emerges, and just go right into wherever it leads you, zooming in, and really breaking it down into the smallest units of analysis, all the way in, all the way in, all the way in, until you might notice a gentle shift, like a sudden lightness, like a where it gently slips away as unfindable. Penge, unfindability. And then affirm what remains, pure awareness. And continue the search, evoking the sense of self and being with all those things that are bubbled up to the surface, using awareness to zoom into each of them, identifying which one has the most weight to it, going on a high speed targeted search through awareness mode, right in to that thing, whatever has the most weight to it, being really honest with your search process, breaking it down into the smallest units of analysis as you can, going in, all the way in to wherever you're holding it in your body, not needing to make sense of it or figure it out. That's not what we're doing here. We're just feeling where that weight, that density brings you to search for anything solid at the center of it. And maybe you just stick with one thing for this practice because it has some really heavy weight to it, and that's okay. You have to be really honest with yourself in order for this to work until you have that shift, that unfindability moment, and then affirm what remains, which is pure awareness. You can go at your own pace, continuing the search processes. And each time you do one of these search processes and affirm what remains, the more and more you're setting up your mode of perception in the field of awareness mode, more and more. You become more masterful at this technique, the more you set up awareness as your primary mode of operating. Continuing to bubble the things up, all of the stories about the self that are current for you in this moment, going on a high-speed targeted search to that weight, that grab, that gravitational pull, and just following where it leads you, zooming in, until it just gently slips away, where awareness, not the self, has determined it as unfindable. And affirm what remains, pure awareness. It's not about suppressing these stories or the sense of self. It's just simply about cleaning them up of the falsehoods, of the obscurations, to see ourselves in our true nature from awareness. Because we're all born as Buddhas. So it's about clearing away the clouds of our mind to see ourselves in that way through using this technique. You'll notice that the more you do this, the faster you can go like a laser, just cleaning it up. And just bringing to a completion wherever you're at with that process. We're going to shift to the body, starting at the top of the head, just gently sweeping down the body using this technique, this search process, to search for anything solid or substantial about the body. And we can use a Zen hack here by imagining a magical giant eraser erasing the head, just gently sweeping down the head, Where is the I am in the head? Searching for anything solid about the I am, the self in the head. And just imagining, but really through direct experience, imagining what it would feel like and really sensing what it would feel like to not have a head. And just notice that shift. How does sound differently when you don't have ears or a head in every direction? And just gently sweeping down the rest of the body with this magical eraser, searching for anything solid about the body. And just noticing what's actually there as it gently slips away and affirming what remains, pure awareness. Just noticing what it would feel like through direct experience to not have a body. Like a master who knows how to do it. You might be noticing glimpses of what it would feel like of being the field of awareness. You can intentionally extend those glimpses to be ongoing. By imagining what it would feel like to not have a body, to be operating primarily out of pure awareness. Where there's no inside, no outside. The outside's the inside and the inside's the outside. Non-dual. Where the heartbeat and the breath becomes like a wave in the ocean. And you are like the ocean viewing its own waves. And just staying as best as you can continuously with that non-dual nature. Where the heartbeat and the breath are just a wave in the ocean. And expanding that beyond the body gently into the room that you're in. And just expanding, gently noticing that shift of the expanse from the concept of the body. Anything that arises, any distracting thought, discomfort in the concept of the body just gets gently labeled as lively awareness. Simply part of the field, no need to get caught up in the destiny of the thought. Because the field of awareness contains everything. Nothing needs to change, no distinctions, everything is sacred. Non-duality wouldn't exist without duality, they're co-emergent. So again, just being with that sense of no inside, no outside, and expanding even more. Using the technique, if you get too distracted, using the visualization of the eraser to support a quick search process, and coming back to this expanse, this non-dual expanse. And expanding beyond the room that you're in every direction, 360 degrees, up, down, right, left, front, back, up, down, right, left, front, back, expanding your access to the field of awareness in every direction. Taking a bird's eye view, if it's supportive, to just see your body as you gently lift up and expand beyond the room that you're in, as if you can see the top of your head, expanding beyond the room or building that you're in, into the upper atmosphere, the earth, beyond the oceans and the continents of the earth, expanding in every direction, popping out of the biosphere, expanding beyond the earth and the planets, witnessing the black hole at the center of the Milky Way galaxy, and visualizing, but really through direct experience, feeling this expanse. The visualization is just a support to really feel it through a direct experience. This expanse of the field of awareness, of knowing awareness, popping out of the sphere of the Milky Way galaxy into the distance where it becomes a star. There's tons of galaxies and stars, and just moving and expanding beyond all the white light, all the dark light, quicker and faster, expanding, searching for the edge, and really rising to the occasion to feel that expanse through this awareness mode that has no edges or boundaries. Being with the heartbeat and the breath as you continue to expand in every direction, searching for the edge of the universe. And maybe visualizing and seeing like this bright conceptual light of what would be the edge of the universe, and just labeling and noticing and recognizing that there really is no edge, and that the concept of the universe is just an interpretive mental construct of the human mind. And that this field of awareness is actually infinite and limitless. The human mind continues to try to create edges and boundaries. And if you feel yourself doing that, just continue to pour space into space and awareness into awareness right there. Staying in this expanse. And then kind of collapsing it into right here, right now, while staying in that expanse and just recognizing that that's right here, right now, in the heartbeat, in the breath. That you are it. We are it. It is you. This infinite, non-dual, limitless nature of being in awareness mode. A sense of objectless spaciousness. Easy access. Where there is no center and there is no edge. Non-local and non-dual. Infinite and limitless. And holding that view of that expanse. Being with the heartbeat and the breath while holding that expanse. There's characteristics to this objectless spaciousness. They're akin to a diamond. Indestructible, uncorruptible, unstainable, crystal clear, indivisible, and unshakable. You can hold this view and recognize those characteristics in your ability to hold that view. Anything that arises is just lively awareness. It's just part of it. And holding this infinite, limitless expanse of the indestructible, inexhaustible energy of infinity, really holding it in your heartbeat. Like a diamond. Flowing through your heartbeat like the main channel of a river. And recognizing and acknowledging that the nature of this indestructible, incorruptible energy of infinity is made of pure, loving awareness, that the field of awareness is a loving, compassionate awareness with the inexhaustible energy to automatically transmute all of the suffering that you've ever been through into pure, loving compassion. You can do that just witness that now for yourself through the timeline of your childhood, like a Rolodex spinning, automatically transmuting all of the suffering that you've ever been through into pure, loving compassion. You are not doing it, you're just observing the nature of it through your heart, flowing through you. My teacher would say it's like a fly zapper, just zapping with automaticity through direct experience, not just a concept, but feeling it and observing it. And then take this intention, this felt sense of the indestructible, incorruptible nature of the field of awareness being loving, and expanding this intention into all of the people that you love, to be flowing through their hearts, connected to your heart. That all of the suffering, all of the people that are close to you, that you love and care about, all of their suffering gets automatically transmuted into pure, loving compassion. The lightning speed of intention, with the inexhaustible energy to transmute. And expanding that intention outward to all the people in your life that are challenging and difficult, or people in the world generally that are challenging and difficult for the world. Just witnessing, not through you, but just observing what is. And then expanding that intention outward, fanning that field of observation and intention outward to all of the people that you've ever come across and ever interacted with. For all of their suffering to be transmuted into pure loving compassion, holding, remembering to hold that non-dual infinite nature of awareness mode and doing it from there. And then expanding it, fanning it out to all people, all humanity like a super laser. All of the people who go unnoticed, especially all of the forgotten people, the incarcerated, the disabled, the severely impoverished, the severely abused. For all of their suffering to somehow reach a mode of intention and experience of being transmuted into pure loving compassion. And all people, no one gets left behind. As they say in the great wheel of Mahamudra, no one gets left behind. Holding this intention of automaticity of all suffering into pure loving compassion as a basic disposition. Simple observation, expanding it out into all beings on the planet, and expanding out to all beings everywhere in all time. A sea of infinite beings, a sea of infinite sentient life in all times, everywhere. The spacious, vast expanse, holding these characteristics of indestructible, incorruptible, unstainable, crystal clear, automatic transmutation of suffering into pure loving compassion. Holding this infinite, timeless sea of life like a mother holds a baby. Like the sun viewing its own rays of light as an inseparable pair. The dance of samsara and nirvana. And the sameness that's there, that one wouldn't exist without the other. And staying in that state that you've accessed, but shifting into the receiver mode of being held by this river of love. Being held, feeling your heartbeat, the breath, the self, the sense of self, just holding, being held, receiving. It's always right here. And without having to change your state, we're going to shift tasks into being present with this beautiful circle, this temple, this church of direct experience that are gathered here now, and just holding that energy for each other through that connection, that field that we've generated. Just being present with each other right here and right now, again, as we invite Amali Grace into a song and prayer.
Thank you, Lindsay. This is our time. Nothing in the way. Just open space. It's everything we've wanted and longed for. It's the song that sang at the beginning of our lives here. Oh, welcoming in what we are seeing from here. I've been underneath the weight of me, the pressure of my suffering, limited what I could bring. But now that there's the space to come between and crack inside of everything, I can see where we are and feel that we are riding on this star. We are here all together in this infinite space. It's full of our names. What a gift it is to share in this space, to actually follow all of these lines into pure space. What an incredible opportunity we have right now on planet Earth to be claiming this like the masters we know we are. That it's our time to step in and choose how we will ride the lines of our days and nights. So many ways to go. Every relationship, every moment, it's full of our yeses and nos. But when awareness is seeped inside, I can go left or right, and I know that I'm following what's true inside. So much possibility here as we dream, falling away from the old possibility. So in this last moment, just feeling the continuity of everything that we've traveled here together today. Just feel how seamless it gets to be as we step out of this room and walk out into our lives and move forward as the sun sets and the sun rises. Here we are again. Thank you.
Mm. Thank you, both Amelie and Lindsay. Very much rooted in the vast expanse of space in this moment. And it occurred to me in the midst of the transmission, Lindsay, when the laser is beaming through the collective body and sweeping through everyone and everything. This moment right now that we're in, where the veils are thinner, this Samhain portal, where souls are able to traverse across the veil more easily. And there is just so many, the image of the zapper, just zip, zip, just all the way through. So thank you. That was very profound. All right. Well, with that, we close out with blessings. Thank you so much once again. And we look forward to gathering again next month. Beautiful day, everybody.